good morning, everyone. I'd like to introduce you to Sharnah. Sharnah, can you, before I stumble on it, can you please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do and a bit of your background and how you ended up where you are?
Definitely. Yep. So my name is Sharnah. I'm a proud palawa woman who lives born and raised in Gunaikurnai Country in Victoria. Currently, I'm a Family Services Program Manager for Aboriginal Children and Family Services. So my background has been, I've been working in Aboriginal community for the last 11 years or so in a number of different roles. In admin, that's where I got my footing, in admin, but also in residential care, family violence, in case management, and in leadership. So I've got a little bit behind me. But yeah, that's kind of me in the nutshell.
Wow, so you definitely get quite a broad background there and a lot of hands-on work through by the sounds of it.
Yep.
I'm going to stick to the questions here that I've been given. What made you decide to become a social worker?
So I guess as an Aboriginal woman, I'm really passionate about my community and I'm really passionate about our history as well and acknowledging what's happened in our history, the injustice, the trauma, all that kind of stuff. And I really wanted to play a role, I guess, in bridging that gap for our children and families. So I really wanted to be able to help provide a voice for our kids, for our families, and to be able to advocate for them. So I'm really, really, really passionate about just doing what I can for our mob. And I guess, in a sense, I almost kind of fell into social work too through all of my different roles. I just ended up being led this way and finding my passion along the way too, and finding different roles where I felt like I could make a difference or support making a difference for families.
They're some of the best jobs, aren't they? The ones where you're really passionate and they just they draw you in and you end up there. You're not sure how you got there, but
that's right.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I felt the same about the Smith family too, is making that difference and being able to help and support them and seeing those success stories as well. To know that you did make a difference.
Absolutely. There's nothing more special when you see, I don't know, when you see a family do something or your client just achieve something, anything that they've wanted to achieve. There's just something so special about that, seeing the people that you're working with just doing well or doing something that they're proud of.
Yeah, just help them achieve their goals. That's, priceless.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you've kind of answered this one, but if there's anything more you want to add, how did you begin your career?
So I guess I have already kind of said it a little bit, but I actually got my footing at our local Aboriginal co-op when I was about 17. So I started off doing a traineeship in business administration, and that's kind of where I started. Sorry, my phone's going off. I'll just turn that down.
Distracting.
Sorry. Someone's trying to get me. But yeah, so I started off at our local Aboriginal co-op when I was a teenager, and I did my business admin there. And I think that's where my connection and belonging started to really grow when it came to our community, like feeling involved in our community. And, at the co-op, we had so many different people coming in from all different walks of life. And while it wasn't my job there to be to provide a therapeutic service, I remember I would have people coming in and I was always, the face of the company. So I was always the first person that they would talk to, and I would bring them in and I would sit down with them and I would have a good yarn and figure out what I could do to help them, point them in the right direction. And I think that's where I started to, I guess, get my claws in a little bit to that social work feel, and because it felt really special to try and relate to people and try and put them in the right direction or to guide them a little bit. So from there, I actually did. I was a research assistant for a little bit at Mudgee, the Monash University Department of Rural Indigenous Health. It's a long one. It is.
As well.
Why we call it Mudgee. And actually trained in doing some cultural competency coaching. So we would actually sit down with health professionals and coach them about cultural awareness and all that kind of stuff too. So I think I built a lot more confidence as well in culture and guiding people in that kind of space too. And then I went on to work in a family violence refuge. So that was kind of my first like proper job when I think about it, my like first real job in like social work kind of stuff. And it's actually one of my favorite jobs too, working in the refuge. I was an overnight worker. So rather than case management, I would actually sleep there overnight with all the families that we had, or the women and their kids if they had them in the refuge, and we would always get together over night time and watch movies or just have a yarn or play around and really get to know them and where they came from and their journeys and things like that. And I kind of fell into residential care for a little bit. So we worked in one of the first therapeutic residential care units in Gippsland. And it was Aboriginal specific too. So we would we would have some Aboriginal children living with us. And that was challenging. That was a challenging job. But it certainly showed me a lot. I learned such incredible skills and got such amazing experience from that role. And then I kind of went into, what did I do? Child and Family Services case management, where I am now. And that was about 7 years ago. So I've just kind of, I did that for a couple of years, and then I moved up a little bit into leadership and now management as well. So I've, sorry, it's a really long,
just
giving you my whole resume.
A long journey.
But yeah, it has. It's been, like I said, about 10, 11 years or something like that. So I've gone through lots of different little steps until I found little niches and just gained more and more experience every single time that I've been able to apply to the next one and build upon. And now I'm in a position where I'm actually managing a team of people to do that instead. So it's kind of full circle for me.
Yeah. That's just for anyone that is listening. That's what I would recommend, and I guess because you've been to it too, you would recommend too, is just to take those steps and work.
Absolutely.
And it's the best way to get that experience and get a feel for where you belong to.
Absolutely right.
Yeah. Your life is incredible. I'm just taking all that in. That's amazing. And it takes a certain kind of person, I think, a special kind of person to be able to absorb that and still stand strong and be able to support other people, because that's got to be a little bit taxing on you too some days.
Absolutely. Has its moments.
Yeah.